and of course, your theories, don't forget what I've always been telling you, your theories will always come from the environmental topic, budgets, right? So, and environmental, what do we have? If, for example, you go to your past paper and look at May 2018 question 3A and B, May 2018 question 3A and B, they're going to be very brief. May 2018 question 3A and B, May 2018 question 3A and B. Are we there? Are we there? Are we there? May 2018 question number 3B. You simply say yes or no. Are we there? Are we there? May 2018 question number 3B. Outline 4 costs that should be reported in an environmental cost report. The 4 types of environmental costs that should be reported. Do you know them? Do you know them? Do you know them? The 4 types of costs that should be reported in an environmental cost report. Yes, so we have number 1, we must talk about the environmental prevention costs that we incurred. So we have environmental prevention costs, right? Number 2, we have environmental detection costs. Number 3, we have the environmental internal failure costs. Number 4, we have environmental external failure costs. So we must give a report on each of these. So for the prevention costs, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we are looking at what are those costs that we incurred to prevent our environment from being degraded, right? So the cost of preventing our environment from, of course, in this case here, becoming worse and worse, right? Detection costs, we're looking at all those costs we incurred to detect any environmental degradation issues that we have, like the inspection costs, etc. When we talk of environmental internal failure, once we have these effluent, hii takataka ambayo inatoka kwa kazi ile ambayo tunafanya, ladies and gentlemen, this effluent, of course, some of it, assuming it is this disposable one, some of it in this case here will go to our dustbins, for example, our dustbins. So you can see under environmental internal, we have failed. Of course, we were not able to produce all the materials that we got. We were not able to convert these materials into the final good. Some of it, of course, had to get into waste, right? You can't convert everything to 100% to the final. About 10%, 5% has to be waste. So this waste is well within the organization, kept, for example, in these dustbins. So how do we dispose? So this is that waste which is within our control, in our dustbins. How do we, in this case here, dispose? So whatever cost you incur to dispose such is what will be referred as a environmental internal failure. Now, for the environmental external failure, ladies and gentlemen, now this is that waste that has gone out of control. Waste, for example, that has gone into the ocean, right? Like the other time we had the BP shell, a lot of its oil, of course, in this case here, getting into the ocean. So how do you get this oil out of this ocean here? Of course, all those costs which are incurred when this effluent has gotten now into the environment, like now the issue of what here, carbon emissions. The carbon emissions, when you're trying to reduce the carbon emissions in the environment, then you'll be incurring what we call external what here, environmental external failure cost, So I hope you guys are taking small notes here and there, right? So we have number 2, describe 2 models that could be used by management accountant to scan risks in their operating environment. Scanning of risks in the environment, This is also popular in SG. Scanning of risk, of course, we are looking at two models here. We have, in this case here, models which are used to scan the environment. This is the environment, and SWOT, and what here, and PESTEL. SWOT and PESTEL. SWOT and PESTEL. SWOT and PESTEL. SWOT and PESTEL. Right? So when you're looking at the threats, you're scanning the risks. When you're looking at the political risks, econometric risks here, etc. So SWOT and PESTEL, you should be able to describe this in detail, of course, in your answers like that. Ladies and gentlemen, November 2017, question number 5A. November 2017, question number 5A. November 2017, question number 5A. Are we there? November 2017, question number 5A. November 2017, question number 5A. For those of you who have got this revision kits, it's page number 229. So environmental management accounting is complementary to the conventional financial management accounting approach with the aim of developing appropriate mechanisms that assist in identification and allocation of environmental related costs. That's a very important, ladies and gentlemen, point. They may ask you to define EMA. Environmental management accounting is all about identifying, allocating what we are calling environmental costs to our various products. And at the end of the day, EMA will be involved in financial reporting. So you're told with the aim of developing appropriate mechanisms that assist in identification and allocation of environmental related costs. With reference to the above statement, very popular, highlight 4 areas for the application of EMA. Where do we apply EMA at our workplaces? Areas in which we apply EMA. Is there somebody who is able to give us those areas very fast? Please give us those areas very fast. Give us those areas very fast. Areas where we apply environmental management accounting in our places of work, in our products, etc. Is there somebody who is able to tell us very fast? Where do we apply these things? Of course, the biggest application, ladies and gentlemen, is in decision making. Anytime you want to produce a product, it will be very important for you to call in environmental experts, ladies and gentlemen, who will be able to look at the impact of whatever product you'll be producing on the environment. So if you feel that this impact will be too much for you, then you may decide to abandon the entire project altogether, right? So in decision making, that is very important. Number 2, in what Jabir is telling us there, product pricing. Many times, ladies and gentlemen, we engage in product pricing without looking at the entire life cycle of a product. When you have the entire life cycle of a product here, of course, we have at the end of it all here, we have what we call death of a product and withdrawal. So for example, in this case here, you are there, it's a product that you're producing, for example, like it could be something like sand, which involves a lot of water excavations. So when you excavate, at the end of the day, the county government may need you to fill up those excavations to make good. So then in this case here, the cost of making good needs to be factored into this product pricing. Very, very important. Product pricing, yes. So you look at the entire picture. What are the pollutants coming out of this? Will be required in this case to do this and this? You got to factor in that. So number 3, somebody tells me, somebody has also given me some other point here. Somebody has given me about some point here. This is not able to. Budgeting, yes, budgeting, very, very close to pricing, but a different point. We use this environmental EMA thing in budgeting. Use the EMA thing in so many ways. We have here investment appraisal. We can also come and bring in the issue of like I've seen somebody talk about there, I was not able to see everything. Life cycle costing, which is independent from what you're from pricing, etc. May 2017, question number, yes, May 2017, yes, setting standards planning purposes. Yes. May 2017, question number 2A, the last one for this area. The last one for this area. The last one for this area. May 2017. May 2017, question number 2A. Are we there? Evaluate 3 benefits that might accrue to an organization that adopts environmental management accounting. Evaluate 3 benefits that might accrue to an organization that adopts environmental management accounting. Are you able to remember those benefits? Any organization that has got this EMA thing will always have some clear benefits. The first benefit, of course, ladies and gentlemen, when you engage, when you engage in environmental issues, you're basically endearing yourself here to consumers out there, right? You would want to improve your reputation. It's marketing. I like that. Improve reputation. Number 2. Of course, once you improve your reputation, ladies and gentlemen, you are able to market yourself very well as a green company, a green company which has adopted environment, which has environment at the core of its activities, then your revenue will be able to increase. So increased what here? Increased revenues. We have cost cutting because of what here? Compliance. Remember, if NEMA knocks on your door, if you're building, for example, today, and NEMA knocks on your door and you had not complied, those of you who are in the building industry or who have been building out there, you know what that means. Utagongwa zaidi ya milioni 2, milioni 3, depending on the nature of what house you're building, like that. So compliance. Then, of course, we have innovation. Innovation because of what here? Eco-efficiency. Innovation, although you can take this as 2 different points. Innovation because of what here? Eco-efficiency. So, ladies and gentlemen, once you start asking yourselves, how do we reduce cost by being friendly with the environment, right? So, of course, you'll be able to say, for example, number 1, if there are papers that we have around here, which in this case here we had printed on the front side alone, let's in this case here, instead of just throwing those papers out there to pollute our environment, let's get away of recycling them, reusing them. In this case here, printing whatever work we have at the back. Once you start making those kind of decisions, of course, you'll be economical, right? Eco-efficiency, very important. But at the end of it all, you'll end up in this case here being more innovative, like what Mumias Sugar did just the other day. The Mzungu went there, if you remember the story. This Mzungu was able to see very fast that whatever is coming out of this molasses, that fluid, it was really burning the environment as it was getting its way out of what here the company. So then they asked themselves, I mean, this thing, the way it's burning trees, whatever it comes up across here as it's moving out of the company, this thing is so strong. How can we make use of it to generate electricity? And of course, in this case here, whatever that happened there is that they were able to produce enough electricity, which they were able to supply the national grid. So that came as a result of what here? That came as a result of being eco-friendly. Trying in this case here to look at this thing that is burning things around here. I mean, why should we have our environment downgraded? And here we are. Great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I run away out of this, could you kindly remind me the components of EMA? Components of environmental management accounting systems. Component of EMA. Is there anybody who is able to remember the 5 components of, even if you give me 3, the 5 components of EMA? The 5 components of EMA. Yeah, there must be some policy statement somewhere, an environmental policy statement that is clearly hung, that is clearly displayed at the reception. It should be very clearly displayed up there. Everybody should know that this company is conscious of the environment. Yes, I like that. I like what Mary is telling me. There are times in these cases, and gentlemen, if you are really so serious with the environment, you need to be making public declarations, especially whenever you get the ISO certifications, get out there in some public and issue a statement, because really it should be about you bringing everyone else, other companies join you in this war of protecting what here? Our environment. We must have an environmental accounting system. Thank you very much. There must be an environmental accounting system, environmental account, and of course, if there is an accounting system, there must be what here? Environmental audit. Any other? Yeah, accounting system, and then we have an audit system. The last one is which one? Is there anybody who is able to remember the last point? Is there anybody who is able to remember the last point? Anybody who is able to remember the last point? Those are enough for your exams. Now, how about these safety stocks? The safety stocks, ladies and gentlemen, safety stocks. Yes, there must be targets, yes. The safety stocks in inventory management, and to believe everybody is now comfortable. Everybody is comfortable with safety stocks. Is that the case? Juma says no. Safety stock. Hey, so many of you guys are not okay. Then that one, the very best I will do here, because I don't have the question that I would want here, I would want you to get here is this one. Okay, so then I would want to play something small for you here of about 30 minutes, and then you have to a short one, very important one. For safety stocks. You're looking at safety stocks question, and I would want us to first of all understand that there are companies that can't afford to run out of stocks. You can imagine, for example, you've become sick today, and then you rush to Kenyatta National Hospital, and perhaps the only thing that you needed to save your life was just a tablet of aspirin. And then when you reach there, you're told that you don't have aspirin in stock. And given that, for example, you could not move from this hospital to another hospital, you end up in this case, you're perishing. No. For these kind of companies which are offering essential services, it's always important for the chief executive officer, of course, for all those people that report to him, like the procurement people, to ensure that whatsoever they always have what we call sufficient stocks. One of the ways of ensuring that you have sufficient stocks is to keep what we call buffer stock, safety stock. So safety stock is that level of stock which you're keeping in your stores, which you do not have an intention of consuming. You don't have an intention of consuming safety stocks, ladies and gentlemen. So we have here, like this. So we'll have our profile moving like that. So that we have procured our Q units there. We use them when we reach somewhere here, just before we start eating our safety stock. Ladies and gentlemen, you should be able to get a fresh replenishment, which takes us like that. So I'm defining again that safety stock is that stock level
that we maintain in our stores without an intention of consuming. We can only consume safety stock under emergency situations where the demand outstrips what we have, where we have a demand, in this case here, going far beyond the quantity we have stocked there. That's why we can consume safety stock. Lakini kwetu sisi, we are making an assumption, ladies and gentlemen, that the safety stock will be constant like that throughout the year. Throughout the year, we shall not be able to do what here to consume it. Now, you having understood that, it will be important for us just to be exam-oriented and go to the question that we have there on our screen. So the question on our screen, ladies and gentlemen, the one of ABC Limited, yes, the one of ABC Limited, question number 1. So this question number 1, if you're following us, I would want you to pause and copy that question. You pause your video and then you copy the question first. You pause this video and copy the question. So you're told ABC Limited has determined that its reorder point is 50 units. That reorder point drop of 50 units is so important to us. When there are no safety stocks, its carrying cost is the same as what? Carrying cost is the same as holding cost. That's how you're putting it in your book there. Carrying cost is the same as holding cost. So carrying cost per year is 5. And the stock out cost is 40 per unit a customer misses. So they have given us stock out cost, which is a key requirement whenever it comes to, ladies and gentlemen, whenever it comes to safety stock calculations. That is quite key. We are told there ABC has experienced probability distribution for inventory demand during lead time, which is shown below. So we have number of units, we have probability. Now let's move to the requirement. So required, down there required, they want us to give them the optimal, or rather the optimal number of orders has been given as 6. So then what is the requirement? What is the optimal level of safety stock? Please underline for me, optimal level of safety stock. And the associated reorder what here? Reorder point. And the associated reorder point. And the associated reorder point. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is quite a very easy question that I should be able to get very fast. So what do I need here straight away? What I need, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call the current rope. So we need here the current rope. We need the current rope. Rope stands for reorder point. The current reorder point, if you look at your screen there, they have given us the current reorder point of 50 units. So please write that. The current rope is 50. The current rope is 50. And then number 2, if you could just zoom to my board here, we have what we call the DDLT. The DDLT. So DDLT is demand during lead time. DDLT is demand during the lead time. So the demand during lead time, which I hope you copied your question down. The DDLT, the demand during lead time, ladies and gentlemen, what do we have there as the demand during lead time? The examiner has told us ABC Limited has experienced a probability distribution for inventory. Demand during lead time is as shown below. So I can see DDLT, we have here 30, we have 40, we have 50, we have 60, and then we have 70. And then they have given us the probabilities, associated probabilities. Here we have 0.2, the next one is 0.2, the next one, ladies and gentlemen, is 0.3, the next one is 0.25, and then the last one is 0.05. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would want you to understand this once and for all, right? This current reorder point is our reorder point which does not have any safety stock. What have I said? The current rope is that rope, our rope which does not factor in any safety stocks, our current rope. Now, after I take care of these two, then everything is at home. And unfortunately, the current rope happens to be here. 50 happens to be here on this demand during lead time. So then the only thing that I need to do is to come and prepare what we normally call a rope schedule. So please write there with us a rope schedule. So for this rope schedule, what I will do, I will come and mention here my rope. I will come and mention there my rope. And remember, this rope, we can only begin from our mark here. We can only begin from the current. So the current, the order point is 50. You leave some space, good space. So we have here 50. The next rope, ladies and gentlemen, is 60, 60, and then we have what we call 70. What I like telling my students whenever it comes to this rope schedule, we always think of the Christianity rule: forward ever, backward never. So once I start from the current, I can only pick the higher values. I can only pick the higher values, not the backward figures. Now, ladies and gentlemen, once you give me this, the next thing that I will come and think about is what we call the stock out. The stock out cost per annum. The stock out cost per annum. The stock out cost per annum. So remember, stock out cost arises whenever the demand that we have exceeds the supply. So this rope is also known as the supply, what you're supplying. So I'll be asking myself, what if questions? What if I supply just 50? If I supply just 50, what are those probabilities of our cells, chances of our cells running out of what your stocks? If we decide to supply these 50, we can only run out of our stocks with this concept of forward ever. We can only run out of stocks here if we have a demand of 60. If we have a demand of 60 and we have put forward 50 units only, then 10 consumers will be able to go home without buying things from us. We shall turn them away. So we'll be missing out on 10 clients. So in this case here we have, I'm trying to look at the stock counter. So we have here 10, and then of course I can see the possibility. The probability of this is 0.25. There is also another possibility of us running out of stock, moving with this forward ever. If they come 70, I can see 20 people being dissatisfied. If they come 70, I'll be able to turn, so 70 minus 50 is 20. So I'll be able to turn 20 times, of course, this corresponding probability is 0.05. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here you have to be very careful. Whatever you have given us here is the stock out quantity. Expected, because you have multiplied with probability, expected stock out quantity per cycle. And we're going to have as many cycles as the number of orders that we have in a year. So for you to get the annual stock out cost, you must always come and multiply these parameters here with the number of orders. If you look at the question there, underneath the requirement, they have given us an optimal number of orders. The optimal number of orders, they have told us, is 6. 6 is the optimal number of orders. So we have here 6. And then the other parameter now, these are units. You need to come and change them to money. So how do we change this to money, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, I'll be able to change this to money quite easily because they have given me the cost of a customer missing a stock item. The cost of a stock out, they have told us, cost of a stock out, ladies and gentlemen, they gave us up there, and the stock out cost is 40 per unit a customer misses. So we'll have to come and multiply this with 40, this other one here with 40. And then you get your calculator. Before I get my calculator, I can even go to the second what if analysis. What if now I decide to supply 60? What are those events of us disappointing the customers? So events of us disappointing customers, if you were to supply 60 forward ever, I can only disappoint customers if they come more than what you have supplied. So if they come 70, then I'll be able to turn 10 because if we supply 60 and they come 70, we'll be able to turn away 10. So 10 times 0.05. 10 times 0.05 because of the probability, right? Because if we decide to supply 60, my good students, we can only turn away. We can only run out of stock and turn away customers if the demand outstrips, if the demand is more than the supply. And that only happens in one situation when demand is 70 and we had stock 60. So it will be the difference, 70 and 60 is 10 times the probability of this event occurring. And remember, this is stock out cost per cycle, which we have to come and multiply with the number of orders in a year. Don't forget that bit, times the stock out cost per unit equals. Ladies and gentlemen, if we decide to stock 70 exactly here, then you will realize very fast that there is no possibility of us ever disappointing anybody. So the stock out cost will be what? It will be zero. So ladies and gentlemen, what I need to do is to come and now determine these figures using my calculator. So using my calculator on here, it will be 10 times 0.25 times 6 times 40, which gives us 600. Then, ladies and gentlemen, we have 20 times 0.05 times 6 times 40, which gives us 240. And if that is the case, then our total stock out cost, will be 600 plus 240, which gives us 840. Come here, we have 10 times 0.05 times 6 times 40, you get here 120. So here there is nothing really to be combined there. Our total stock out cost will be 120. Here, of course, our total stock out cost will be zero because there is no stock out cost. Now, ladies and gentlemen, after I get that, now I'll come straight away. We create another column here for the holding cost. So we have the holding cost of safety stock. So come and give us the holding cost of safety stock. So we have you writing holding cost of safety stock. Holding cost of safety stock. How do we get our safety stocks? Remember, by definition, we said that our current drop is that drop which does not have any safety stock. It is also known as the consumption during lead time. It's also known as the consumption during what year? Lead time. It's also known as the consumption during lead time. So if I supply 50 and I know for sure that 50 will be consumed during this lead time, then I'll not be having any quantity up for safety stock. But what if I supply 60, knowing very well that the consumption during lead time will be 50? So it means that there are some 10 units here that I'm hiding for myself to utilize during any future emergency situations. So in short, to get safety stock units, always work with this as your benchmark, the 50 as your benchmark. So to get safety stock, you'll be taking like this 50 benchmark minus 50. From there, we have the second will be 60 minus the benchmark, which is 50, 10. From there, we have 70 minus the benchmark. Value of reference there is 50. So 70 minus 50, that gives us 20, my good students. Times. These are the safety stock units. Now I need to look for the holding cost. Has this examiner given us the holding cost? Do we have the holding cost? Yes, they have told us carrying the cost. The carrying cost per unit per year is 5. So we have here times 5. Please always be quite careful with the holding cost. At times they'll tell you that the holding cost is for 1 month. So if it's for 1 month, you need to multiply it with 12. So come straight away and give us the answers. This is 0. This will give us 50. 20 times 5, this will give us what here? 100. So ladies and gentlemen, having gotten that, now you need to come and create a column and look for total what here? Total cost. Look for total cost. So total cost, how we get in total cost? It is total or stock out cost plus the holding cost. So like 840 plus 0, that gives us 800 and what here? 40, 840. And then we have 120 plus 50, 120 plus 50, that will give us 170. And then lastly, we have 0 plus 100, giving us 100. So from there, you do your total cost observation, and of course, work with the supply level that has got the lowest what here? Cost. So among the three, the very lowest cost is this 100. And I look at 840, 170, 100. So if it is 100, then I've got everything to do with this row. This is the optimal row, this one. So if the examiner asks us about the optimal cost, the best cost is 100. If he wants us to write here the optimal, if he wants us to write optimal row, optimal reorder point. So the optimal reorder point comes from this particular row, which in this case here happens to be 70. And then of course he'll ask about the optimal safety stock. So the optimal safety stock, ladies and gentlemen, in this particular case, optimal safety stock, what do we have? Safety stocks are here, 0, 10, and 20. So the stock units, optimal safety stock here will be the one in this particular row where optimality exists. So in this case here, the optimal safety stock here will be what somebody here will be 20, like that, 20 units. Will be 20 units. I hope this helps. Let us look at a past paper question so that we can crown this particular word here, this particular, so you can crown this particular exercise. We look at, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at your screen there, you'll be able to see a very important question from November 2017. November 2017. November 2017. November 2017. Question number 5, boy. November 2017. Question number 5, boy. November 2017. November 2017. Question number 5, boy. So November 2017, question number 5, boy. What is it talking about? It's talking about Translimited. Translimited. So please don't fail to purchase our revision kits. I'm so sure they will help you. So November 2017, question number 5, boy. Translimited supplies a product branded BBG. Although the annual demand for BBG is high, it varies considerably. The demand during lead time and the associated probabilities are as follows. Please underline there, the demand during lead time. So they have given me what we normally call the DDLT. They have given me the DDLT. They have given me the DDLT. So they have given me the DDLT. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with the DDLT, what do we have there? DDLT, the demand during what year? Lead time. So the demand during lead time, they have given me the figures. We have 600, we have 600, we have 650, we have, ladies and gentlemen, 700, and then we have 750, 800, 850, 850. We have 900, 950, 950, 950, 1,000. I hope you'll be able to see me down there. 1050. And are you able to see me on your phone there? 1050, 1100 last week. You okay? Thank you very much. How about the probabilities? So come and give me the associated probabilities. The associated probabilities, we have 0.25, we have 0.23, we have 0.12, we have 0.1, we have 0.08, 0.08, we have 0.05, 0.05, we have 0.05 again, 0.05 again, we have 0.04, 0.04, we have 0.03, 0.03, then we have 0.03 again, 0.03 again. Lastly, we have 0.02. Thank you very much. So please continue reading the additional information. Additional information, my admin, if you can take me to that question. Additional information. Additional information. Trans Limited places 5 orders annually. That is quite key in terms of getting the total stock out cost. When getting the total stock out cost, we must always use number of orders in a year. So Trans Limited places 5 orders annually. And then number 2, the ordering cost per order amounts to 6,000. That is key to us. The estimated stock out cost is 5,000 per unit. The reorder point is 850. They have given us the current rope. The current rope is here. They have given us the current rope. They have given us the current rope, which is 800 and what here? 50. And then they're giving us lead time is 12 working days. That is noise for now. That is noise for now. So from there, ladies and gentlemen, what we need to do is to come and straight away do for us what we call a rope schedule. Very important. So a rope schedule has to be very, very spacious. Rope schedule has to be very spacious. So remember, we start from the current rope moving forward ever, backward never, just like in salvation. So you're starting with 850, especially the first ones, please give them big space. So 850, the second one here will be 900, give them big space. We have 950. So as I go down, I can now reduce on my spaces. We have 1,000, we have 1050, and then we have the last one, which is 1,100, like that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, after that, this is the current row. Thank you very much. So after that, we think about the stock out cost. So think about the stock out cost. Think about the stock out cost. So we have here the stock out cost. So the stock out cost, annual stock out cost. First of all, I would want you to give me the possible stock out units very fast. I'll be able to get this very, very fast. The possible stock out units. The possible stock out units, my good students, if you look at this very well, if I supply 850, remember this is our supply. So if we supply 850 here, now watch on the DDLT. DDLT stands for demand during lead time. So if I decide to supply 850, what are those situations that you're able to see where I will be able to turn away clients? Remember, you can only turn away clients, ladies and gentlemen, whenever demand exceeds what you have supplied. So if you supply only 850, I can see if they come 900, I'll be able to turn away how many? They're different. I'll be able to turn away 50. So here I'm turning away 50. 50. With what probability? I can see the probability here. The probability of these coming on board is 0.05. If they come 950, I will turn away the difference. I'll turn away 100 with what probability? Somebody here with this probability of 0.04. If they come 1,000, I will turn away, ladies and gentlemen, 150 times the probability of this, which is 0.03. If they come, ladies and gentlemen, 1050, if they come 1050 from this, remember we have supplied 850. So what if? Because we don't know how many will come. Here I'll be able to disappoint 200 times this probability, 0.03. If they come, ladies and gentlemen, 1100, I'll be able to disappoint 250 times that probability of carrying, like that. Go to this other supply point. What if we supply 900? The first one here is 50. If they come 950, I'll disappoint 50. Ladies and gentlemen, if I supply 900 today and they come 1,000, I will disappoint 100. So please don't forget to use the probability. This is 0.04. This one here. And then for the 1,000, is 0.03. Don't forget to do that because we want to get an expected value. We're not so sure. If they come here 1050, I will be able, ladies and gentlemen, here to disappoint 150 times the probability of that happening is 0.03. Then we have got 200 times 0. What here? Somebody 200 times 200. We are here. 950. We had the 50, that's okay. Then we had the 100. So we have the 150, and then now lastly we have 1100 minus 900, giving us 200 times 0.02. Come and replicate the same procedure here. What if now we are supplying 950? If you're supplying 950, then if they come 1,000, we shall be able to disappoint 50 only. 50 with what probability? 0.03. If they come, ladies and gentlemen, 1050, I will disappoint 100 times what probability? 0.03. If they come 1100, I'll be able to disappoint 150 times probability of that occurring is 0.02. Moving on well. I'm almost completing. If we supply 1,000 here, I can only disappoint 50 if they come 1050. Remember, just like I've told you, it's forward ever, backward never. This elevation principle, always keep on moving forward. So if they come here, then I'll be able to disappoint 50 times 0.03. If they come 1100, I'll be able to disappoint 100 times 0.02. What if I stock 1050? If I stock 1050, there is only one possibility of us disappointing some customers. That is, if they come 1100, we shall disappoint 50 times 0.02 like that. If they stock 1100, there is no possibility of us ever having demand which exceeds 1100. So ladies and gentlemen, having gotten these expected units, remember these are just cyclical, one cycle. So I need to annualize these. How do we annualize these? Come and multiply everything with the number of orders. With the number of orders. Multiply everything with the number of orders. How many orders do we have? If you look at this particular question, which my admin, Ebo admin, has been able to pop there, under additional information, note number 1, you will see Trans Limited places 5 orders annually. So times 5 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 times 5. The other thing that you need always to remember, whenever it comes to stock out cost, ladies and gentlemen, you need to remember that stock out cost, you must multiply this with what here? You must always multiply this with the stock out cost with the stock out cost per unit. So in this particular question, if you look at number 4, they have given us the estimated stock out cost, which is 5,000 per unit. So we have here times 5,000, times 5,000, times 5,000, times 5,000. May look a little bit lengthy, but this approach is very good, very easy. 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. So come and give us our figures. Give us our figures, and that is it. Give us figures. Give us figures, and that is it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have our figures here. So, 50 times 0.05 times 5 times 5,000. This will give us 62,500. 62,500. And then we have 100 times 0.04 plus, not plus, but times 5 times 5,000, which will end up giving me 100,000. Second one. The third one will be 150 times 0.03 times 5 times 5,000, which will end up giving us 112,500. Go to the third one, 200 times 0.03 times 5 times 5,000, which will end up giving us 150,000. 150,000. Then we have 250 times 0.02 times 5 times 5,000. Ladies and gentlemen, this will end up giving us 125,000. 125,000. Then we have 50 times 0.04. 50 times 0.04 times 5 times 5,000, which gives us 50,000. Ladies and gentlemen, come here, give us 100. Looks a bit tedious, but very enjoyable. 100 times 0.03 times 5 times 5,000, which will end up giving us 75,000, my good students. Go to the next one. This will be 150 times 0.03 times 5 times 5,000. That will end up giving us 112, 500. Then lastly, we have 200 times 0.02 times 5 times 5,000, which will end up giving us 100,000. 100,000. From there, we have 50 times 0.03 times 25,000. I know this is 25,000, which will end up giving us 37,500. We go to the next one, 100 times 0.03 times 25,000, which will give us 75,000. Go to the next one. We have 150 times 0.02 times 5 times 5,000, which gives us 75,000 again. Let me repeat again. 150 times 0.02 times 25,000. I'm being told it's 75,000. Just for avoidance of any doubts, let me repeat the one on top. 100 times 0.03 times 25,000. Yes, I'm getting 75,000 again. So come down here, we have 50 times 0.03. 50 times 0.03 times 25,000. What figures are we getting here? We're getting 37,500. Then we have 100 times 0.02. 100 times 0.02 times 25,000. This gives us 50,000. This gives us 50,000. From there, we have the last one, which is 50 times 0.02 times 25,000, which will give us 25,000 exactly. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what you need to do is to come and give us the total stock out cost. So using your different color pen here, give us the total stock out cost, TSC. Total stock out cost, what do we have there? We have 62,500. 62,500 plus 100,000 plus 112,500 plus 150,000 plus 125,000, which gives us 550,000, 550,000. From there, you come to the second one, ladies and gentlemen. The second one, we have 50,000 here, plus 75,000 there, plus 112,500, plus 100,000, which will end up giving us 300. The total stock out cost here will be 337,500. And then we have 37,500 plus 75,000 plus 75,000 again, which gives us total stock out cost of 187,500. 187,500. So 37,500 plus 50,000. That will give us a TSC of 87,500. Lastly, we have, of course, this 25,000. The other one is 0. After finishing that, ladies and gentlemen, now you will come and give us the last column. We are almost there. We are almost finishing. Give us the last column. The last column will be about our safety stocks. The last column will be about our safety stocks, especially in the form of what here? Holding costs. Holding cost. Holding cost. So how do we get our safety stocks, ladies and gentlemen? We say safety stocks are those stocks we will keep over and above the current drop. The current drop is our consumption during lead time. So like now here we'll talk of 850 minus the benchmark, which is 850. The first one is 0. The second one will be 900 minus 850. So here I'm putting a buffer stock of 50. 950 minus 850. Here I'm putting a buffer stock of 100. Then we have 1,000. 1,000 minus 850. I'm putting a buffer of 150 there. We have 1050 minus 850. We have 200 there. And then lastly, I can see I'm putting up quite a lot here, 250, the last one. So the question is, have they given us the holding cost per unit per annum? Yes. Look at that question. Look at that question. You'll be able to see note number 3, where they have given us, note number 3, the carrying cost amounts to 1,000 per unit. The carrying cost amounts to 1,000 per unit. Carrying cost is the same as what here? Holding cost. Carrying cost is the same as holding cost. So this will be 0. This will be 50,000. Here it will be 100,000. Here we have 150,000. Then here we have 200,000. The last one, you have to be quite keen to see it. It's quite low. So we have the last one, the total cost for the last one. The total holding cost for the last one will be 250,000. So ladies and gentlemen, after that, now you need to come and give us the last column for us to cram up everything. You need to come and give us what we call the total cost. So how do we get total cost? We normally take the TSC, the total stock out cost, plus the holding cost. So like now the first row, which will be 550,000 plus 0, which gives us 550,000. I like this. The second one will be 337,500 plus 50,000. So take your calculator. We have 337,500 plus 50,000, which ends up giving us 387,500. So this is 387,500. From there we have 187,500 plus 100,000, giving us 287,500. From there we have 87,500 plus 150,000, my good students, giving us 237,500. From there we have the last one, which is 0 plus these two. We have another one here, 25,000 plus 200,000, which gives us 225,000. And then now the last one is 0 plus this 250, which basically will give us 250,000. Ladies and gentlemen, and this now is our climax. They want us to advise them on the basis of the inventory cost, which happens to be minimal. So if you look at the total cost, inventory cost, which is minimum, is this 225,000. And everything about this now becomes good. Everything about this becomes good. Everything about this becomes good. Such that if they want us to give them the total, or rather the optimal rope will come from this. So optimal rope is 1050. Please write there. Optimal rope is 1050. 1050. And then number 2, if they want us to give them optimal, you're writing there, optimal safety stock, the optimal safety stock will come now from this, which is what here? 200. The optimal safety stock is 200. So I want to imagine that that has been very good, but please, as you do this, you also need to buy our revision kits. For the online students who are doing our live classes, our revision
Yes. So have you been able to pick some concepts out of that clip? Have you been able to get some concepts out of that clip? Really great, 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 great. Thank you very much. Then the other area that you're not supposed to ignore whatsoever, how I wish I'll get students who are telling me, Mwalimu, this one I'm okay, this one we are okay. The other area that you should not ignore at all, because I would want you to start now preparing for your travel, because I'm so sure you could be going a bit far. This May 2019 question number 2B, 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 FIDICA Limited. These are very important area. Simulation of inventory, simulation of CVP. Simulation of inventory, simulation of CVP, May 2019. Are we comfortable with that? Is that an area that we are okay with? B wants us to go through some question there. Can you send that question to us? Can you send it to me, that question through WhatsApp? I don't have it here. May 2019 question number 2, boy. Is it something we are comfortable with? I don't want to belabor and Probably you guys are okay with this. May 2019 question 2B. Comfortable or not comfortable? Tuko sawa. May 2019 question number 2B. Okay. Okay. So we are told Fidica Limited buys and sells a single product branded NN. The demand and lead time of product NN is not constant, right? So the following probability distribution has been provided. So we have the demand, we have the lead times. The reorder point and reorder quantity has been set at 40 units and 30 units respectively. The holding cost per unit per week is 35. Is 35. Is 35. Is 35. Is 35. Is 35. The cost of placing an order is 350. If the company runs out of stock, a contribution of shillings 120 per unit is lost. The opening inventory at the beginning of the first week was 60. Using simulation of the above problem for 10 weeks, I can only do, say, 2 or 3 for my sake. Determine the average weekly cost using the following random numbers. So then the first thing will be for us to get to what we call page number 221. Page number 221. Page number 221. Okay. So the first thing, as some student has been able to tell us there very fast, is to come and ascertain the cumulative what here? Cumulative probabilities. So basically we shall come and give our examiner what we call the random number ranges. The random number ranges. The random number ranges. So random number ranges, ladies and gentlemen, what do we have here? We have demand. We must establish the probabilistic variables. So demand could either be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we have probabilities. Probabilities we have 0.02, we have 0.08, we have 0.22, we have 0.34, we have 0.18, we have 0.09, we have 0.07, and then we have lead time. So we have lead time. Lead time will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With these probabilities, very first, we have 0.23, 0.45, we have 0.17, we have 0.09, we have 0.06. So then come and give us the cumulative probabilities here very first. So cumulative probabilities, remember, we are accumulating these ones downwards, we are accumulating them downwards. So then we have here 0.02. Add this. You add this here. Give me figures kindly. It's a helicopter approach. You don't want to touch down. So 0.02 plus 0.08 gives us what figure? Somebody. 0.1, but remember, Jabir, it has to be 0.10. We must be consistent with decimal places. We have to be consistent with decimal places. So 0.10 plus 0.22 gives us what figure? 0.32, 0.32 plus 0.34, 0.66, thank you very much, plus 0.18, 0.84 plus 0.09, 0.93, thank you very much, plus 0.07, that gives us 1.00, thank you very much. Come and do the same for the second variable, cumulative probability. So the first one is 0.23. Please add this here. Add this here, add this there. 0.23 plus 0.45 gives us what figure? 0.68. So we have 0.68 plus 0.17 plus 0.17, that will give us what figure? Plus 0.17, that will give us what figure? 0.85. So 0.85 plus 0.09 gives us 0.94. Plus this gives us 1.00. Now with this, I need to come and give them what they call random number ranges. So random number ranges, remember that these are 2 decimal places. So 2 decimal places, we are making use of 2 digits. So 2 digits, I hope you remember this will be 00 all the way to 02 minus 1, which gives me 01, because it must be 222. Next number after this will be the commencement of my second range. So 02 to 09 because of 10 minus 1, right? And then we have 10 to 31, 32 to 65, 66 to 83. We have 84 to 92. We have 93 to 99. Is that okay? I hope you don't have a problem with the putting down of these random number ranges. Do you have a problem with this? Okay, great. Thank you very much. So we have here 00 to 22, 23 to 67, 68 to 84. We have 85 to 93. We have 94 to 99. 94 to 99. 94 to 99. 94 to 99. Now from there, straight away, I'll come and give them the simulation worksheet. The simulation worksheet. So we have the simulation worksheet. The simulation worksheet. It's a simulation worksheet. Simulation worksheet. I'm so sure that you have moved pretty fast, but the good thing is that you've told me you are comfortable with this area, right? So remember simulation worksheet, what do we have? The first one will be run number. The first one will be run number. And then from there, I'll come and estimate the variables you have been given. I'll come and estimate the variables that you have been given. The variables that you have been given here, I'll estimate them using random numbers. So random number demand. Random number demand. I have random number, lead time. Lead time. And then because it's an inventory question, I must have opening stock. I must have opening stock. Remember, this arrangement really is never static. You can do it the way you wish. So we start with run number 1. I'll add the other columns later. We start with run number 1. So run number 1, are you able to see the first random number that the examiner has given us there? Are you able to see the first random number that the examiner has given us there? Is there anybody who is able to see the random number? The first random number is 30. I'm told it's 30, yeah? Is it 30? 50. 50. The first random number is 50. The first random number is 50. So 50 corresponds to what demand? 50, look at this. 50 corresponds to what 50 is here. 50 corresponds to a demand of what here, somebody? Of 5. 50 corresponds to a demand of 5. Now for lead time is a bit crazy. Lead time, you normally leave it like that first. So please come and give me the opening stock. Opening stock. Opening stock. Are you able to see the opening stock in this question? Are you able to see the opening stock in this question? Yes, I can see it. I'm told in note number 5. The opening inventory at the beginning of the first week is 60 units. So opening stock is 60 units. So now listen, normally if you look at how you ascertain the quantity which is available for sale, quantity available for sale, you look at the opening stock you had in your store in the morning, plus what was procured in the day, right? So in this case here, I must come and add here the purchased quantity. The purchased quantity, very important. Now from there, of course, these two added together will give me the quantity available for sale. And then I'll be able to make a sale. So quantity sold. And then lastly, I have my closing stock there. The other items will come later, like this stock outs, etc. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen and listen to me very well. There is no order we placed. This we have just begun. We never had any order we placed earlier on. So the quantity purchased in this case here will be 0, nothing there. Now look at this. The quantity available for sale is 60. And how many units have they come demanding? They have demanded from us 5. So, you know, when you want to ascertain the sales, what we're going to sell, you compare the demand versus what is available. What is available. And then, of course, the lower will be the effective one. So in this case here, we shall end up selling how many units there? We shall end up selling 5 units. So if that is the case, could you kindly give me the closing stock? 55, they're telling me 55. Thank you very much. 55, 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 thank you very much. Great. Now, could you kindly tell me, are we going to place any order? Somebody help Ruth. Is it Ruth or Daniel? Daniel. Can somebody help Daniel by sharing the question? There is that link. There is that link. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, for lead time, we don't have lead time every other day. Lead time is associated with ordering. If you don't order, then there is no lead time. Like in this case here, they have given us a policy on this lead time. They've told us the reorder point and the reorder quantity have been set at 40 and 30. The concern there is reorder point. We can only reorder when this quantity here hits what here? Somebody hits 40. Hits 40. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is way above 40. So we are not going to order at all. So if we are not ordering at all, then there will be no need for us to what here? To have lead time. Because lead time is a period taken to deliver. So because here we are above 40, we are not making that order, then we have not asked anybody to deliver. So there is nothing we are waiting for. So there is nothing, no delivery there. So in this case here, please don't waste your random numbers here. Now go to run number 2. Run number 2, could you kindly give me, ladies and gentlemen, could you kindly give me the next random number for run number 2? Give me the next random number, give me the next random number. What time should we stop this particular class? What time should we stop this particular class? I don't want us to strain in the morning. I don't want us to strain in the morning. I would want you to take your breakfast normally. I would want you to, we would rather we say we take even a break. We take a break, and then once you reach your examination centers, even if it's an hour to the exam, you can continue discussions, right? Especially the theory areas, right? You can continue, especially once you reach your examination centers. That's when I would want us to talk. Otherwise, mutakamatwa na jam kwa njia. Kwa wale ambao mnaishi Mombasa Road, mkiwa mnaendelea kusoma hapa in the morning, ileta shida. At the center, it will be tricky. Why? Don't you have your mobile phones with you? You'll use a motorbike. Okay, that's good of you. You must know how to survive in this world. Lakini motorbike along Mombasa Road, along na anywhere Nairobi motorbike, those things are driven crazily. At 8, kwa hivyo unamaanisha uko karibu na examination center. So, but I think the best will be 6:30. 6:30 is ideal. It's good compromise. Yes, it's good compromise. Now we go to run number 2. Wameniambia hapa ni 68. So 68 kwa demand. 68 siko hapa. Inakuja demand ya ngapi? Somebody 68. Demand ya ngapi? Somebody saidia mimi. 6 years. Please, lead time with random number. Lead time normally comes after you've done some analysis. So come here and give us the opening stock for week number 2. This must be what has been brought down from there. So the opening stock here will be 50 what here, somebody? The opening stock there will be 55. Thank you very much. Do we have any quantity you're going to receive this day? No quantity to be received on this day. Then how many units are we going to sell? Somebody here? How many will we sell? How many units will we sell? We sell 6. Thank you very much. Because you have compared what is available for sale vis-a-vis the demand. So 6 is lower. So in this case here, what is the closing stock? No one is sharing the question. Very unfortunate. The thing is, please take a snapshot of that question and send it through WhatsApp. I can't continue before we do that. We have to be considerate. We don't want this student going to an exam and getting this question and then says, may the entire class, may the entire team be cast. So once it is shared, please let me know. Let me know once this question, just a snapshot from the revision kit or from wherever, send. Ruth anataka kutumia direct. Ebu muinbox haraka atakutumia haraka. Yeah. Twende kazi. So of course 49 is way above our reorder point. Remember, our reorder point is how many? Is 40. We can only place an order once we hit 40. So 49 is up there. We are not going to place an order. So in this case here, dash, dash like that. So go to run number 3. Go to run number 3. So run number 3, what do we have there? Thank you very much, Luke. So run number 3, I expect the third random number. The third random number. The third random number. The third random number is which one here? Somebody is 52. So with random number 52, are you able to see the demand? Random number 52, are you able to see the demand? Random number 52, are you able to see the demand? The demand 52 is somewhere there. So that gives me how many units here? Somebody, 5 units, yes. Are you going to place an order? We can't ascertain that at the moment. We can only ascertain that once we know the closing stock of the day. So in this case here, come and bring forward the stocks here. So we are talking about 49 there. Quantity purchased, there was no previous order. So how many do we sell here? We sell 5. So please give me something there. 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 Please give me something here. 44. 44. So please continue like that. Go to run number 4. So run number 4, please give me the next random number. Of course, here we are not placing any order there. We're not placing any order there because we are still way above the order point, 40, right? So the next, Jabir tells me 08. So 08 gives me how many units? 08 gives me what demand? 08 gives me 3. The assessment of this will come in later. So your opening stock is 44. Quantity purchased, no previous order. So here we sell 3. So we are left with 41. So still way above the 40, no placement of any order. So dash is there. So we come in this case here to run number 5. Run number 5. Run number 5. Are you able to see the demand there? Run number 5. Are you able to see the demand there? Run number 5. So when I say 59, run number 5 is 59. So 59 gives me what demand? 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 A demand of 5, right? So in this case here, closing stock brought forward as my opening stock is 41. I'm not receiving any units. How many do I sell? I sell 5. So if I sell 5, 41 minus 5 gives me what figure? 36. So 36, I can see, ladies and gentlemen, that now here, I started with 41 that day. When I sold 1 unit, it went to 40. So at 40 exactly, I must have made an order. At 40 exactly, I must have made an order. Remember, we make an order once our stock levels hit 40, the mark 40, this one. So we placed an order here. So if we place an order, then I would want to know how long will this guy take to deliver? How long will it take to deliver? This is lead time, and lead time is probabilistic. So meaning that I would need some random number. Random number, what is the next random number? What is the next random number, somebody? At times, I hope you guys have ever seen this. At times, they'll give you random numbers. At times, they'll give you random numbers for lead time, separate. Here, they have not separated. So I simply continue picking the random numbers as they're coming. So Nancy tells me I pick 90. Thank you very much. So 90 will give me what random, will give me what lead time? 90. 90 is here. 90 gives me 4. 90 gives me 4 days or 4 weeks. So meaning that these goods will be coming to us in which week number? Will be coming to us in which week number? If they're coming after 4 weeks, after 4 weeks, after 4 weeks, will be coming to us in which week number? In which week number? After 4 weeks. Runs plus lead time. Thank you very much, Hilda. Runs plus lead time. Runs plus. So we placed an order here plus lead time. So 5 plus 4. Wait. It's 5 plus 4 GB. We're going to receive this. It's 5 plus 4. We're going to receive these goods 5 plus 4, which in this case here takes me to now put a mark there. So on week number 9, I'm going to receive. You can even go ahead and receive them on week number 9 so that you don't confuse. On week number 9, I expect to receive here purchased quantity to be received. What we receive? What we receive? We're going to receive how many units shall we receive on week number 9 so that you don't confuse. How many? How many? Are you able to see the reorder quantity? You know, we have a difference between reorder quantity and reorder period. Reorder quantity is what we shall receive when we make an order. So it is 30. So in this case here, 30 here, 30 there. Thank you very much. 30 there. Thank you very much. 30 there. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue. So go to week number 6. Week number 6, are you able to see the next random number? Week number 6, what do we have there? Week number 6. Week number 6, what do we have? Week number 6, random number 30. Next random number, I'm being told, is 30. 81. 81. So 81 will give me what figure? 81 will give me what demand? 81 will give me 6. 81 gives me 6. 81 gives me 6. Yeah, I can't say anything first. I'll have to continue. So, ladies and gentlemen, come and give me the opening stock. The opening stock here is 36, right? Quantity purchased, I'm not receiving anything there. How many do I sell? 6. So the closing stock here will be 30. Do I make an order? I can't make another order when the previous order that I made has not been received. Actually, for all this, it's very important for you to note this. For all this, there'll be nothing like what here, ordering again. I can only consider ordering after I've received this 30. Right? So please don't tell me make an order. How do you keep on? No. The very best you'll do is to tell this guy you had placed an order with here to hurry up. I know 30 is below 40. Somebody will make an argument that 30 is below 40. But you see, you have made an order up there and this order has not been received. So you can't place another order. No. The only thing you'll do is to tell this guy, hey, man, I'm going to run out of stock. Please hurry up. Right? So I hope that is clear. And that now opens the door for us to go to number 7. So number 7, could you kindly give me the next lead time? Number 7, could you kindly, not lead time, but next random number. So 85. So 85 gives me what demand? 85 gives me what demand? 85 gives me what demand? If you look at 85 here, 85 gives me what demand? Somebody what demand? 7. So please give me the opening stock here is 30. Quantity purchased, of course, I'm not going to receive anything there. Here is dash, right? How many do I sell? I sell 7 there. So in this case here, 30 minus 7, that gives me 20 what here? 23. I love this. 23. I love this. Go to the next one. Please give me the next random number. The next random number. Ruth says 23. 95, 95, yes. 95. I see you at 23. So 95 then will give me what demand? 95 is well within here. This gives me a demand of what here? Somebody 95. 95 gives me a demand of what here? Somebody. 95 gives me a demand of 8. 95 gives me a demand of 8. So once I have 8 there, I'm seeing here quite good things. I'll only come and carry forward this 23. There is nothing to be received there. So meaning, ladies and gentlemen, that 23, I'll be able to sell 8. So 23 minus 8 gives me what figure? Somebody. 23 minus 8 gives me what figure? Somebody. 15. 15. After that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll come very fast here and look at this week number 9. What is the next random number given here? What is the next random number given here? What is the next random number given here? What is the next random number? 115. Are you sure? 15, 15. Thank you very much. So random number 15 gives me corresponds to what? Corresponds to what demand? This corresponds to a demand of 4. This corresponds to a demand of 4. So in this case here, nothing much really. Opening stock brought forward here is what here is 15. 15. Now the goods which we have, which are available for sale, are how many units? 45. 45. So if it's 45 and I have 4, I'll come and sell the 4 there. So if I sell the 4 there, what will be the closing stock? Somebody there? Is there anybody who is able to see the closing stock? 41. Thank you very much. So please continue. Go to run number 10. Run number 10. Is there anybody who is able? Is there anybody who is able to see? Anybody who is able to see the next random number? 89. I'm being told. So 89, ladies and gentlemen. 89, ladies and gentlemen. Please give me the demand corresponding to 89. Give me the demand corresponding to 89. So they're telling me corresponding to 89. What demand do we have there? 7. Demand we have there is 7. So we have to be careful here. So come to the opening stock. So the opening stock there will be 41, right? So 41, of course, you're not receiving anything, nothing there, right? So we'll end up selling how many? 7. Giving me what at the end of the day here, somebody? Giving me 34, I'm being told, 34. So do we place an order? Do we place an order? Do we place an order? Do you place an order? Do you place an order? Yes, because you can see we have moved from 41 to 34. for 2034. So that 40 must have been hit somewhere, well, somewhere there. So please, and give me the next random number. Give me the next random number. Give me the next random number, 28. So 28 is now for lead time. So lead time 28, lead time 28. What do we have here? 28. 28, what do we have? Somebody there as our lead time? 2. How many runs do they want us to do? How many runs do they want us to conduct here? So 10 weeks, 10 runs, 10 runs, 10 runs. So this is well within our requirement, 10 runs. But unfortunately, we have not encountered a stock out. I really wanted us to have a stock out, but that is it. I'm so sure now, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be able to do what they wanted us to use simulation of 10 runs, determine the average weekly cost. So please give me a cost statement there very fast. Give me a cost statement there very fast. Cost statement. So now the cost statement, I would want you to go ahead and give me the holding cost, the shortage cost, and the ordering cost. There are 3. There are 3 costs there. So we start with shortage costs. Shortage cost. Of course, if I had some shortages here, I wish we had them, maybe like 10 units, etc. I would have taken, for example, the units which are there times what here, somebody? The units which are there, call this X times the shortage cost per unit, which they had given us here. The shortage cost per unit, which they had given us shortage cost per unit, which is in note number 4. If the company runs out of stock, a contribution of 120 per unit is lost. So it would have been X times 120. But you see, in the 10 runs, there is no shortage at all. So in our case here, shortage cost is 0. How about ordering cost? Ordering cost, do we know the number of times we made orders? Yes, within the 10 weeks, we made how many orders? You should be able to count. We made only 2 orders. 2 orders only. So in this case here, we have 2. Do we know the ordering cost? Ordering cost wanasema ni ngapi? Ordering cost wanasema ni ngapi? Ordering cost. Cost of placing an order is 300 and what here, somebody? Is 350. So then this will give me how much here, somebody? This will give me at the end of the day, how much here, somebody? 350 times 2 is 700, right? And then we have holding cost. Holding cost, you only work with the units we held overnight, the units we stayed with. So for holding cost, basically come and give us the total closing stock. Give us the total closing stock. Please add up for us the total closing stock. Add up everything. 350 times 60. 350. The opening inventory at the beginning was 60. Holding cost is 35. Let's see. Remember, the holding cost per unit per week is 35. It's 35. 60 units were ordered. No. Remember, the 350 is the cost of placing an order. It doesn't matter how many units they will bring. Every time you raise your phone, placing an order, the lorry cost, etc., it is always pegged on. It is always pegged on the number of orders. And the number of orders in this case here, number of orders here were how many? Number of orders here were only 2. We made 2 orders. 2 orders. Okay, great. So how about the total closing stock? 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 Total closing, you simply add the total closing stock. For purposes of time, I would want to assume, if you guys don't have the figure, total closing stock is 29.59. So you take 29.59, I don't know where the 29.59, yes, times 29.59 times 29.59 times what here, somebody? 29.59 times the holding cost per week, which is 35, which will end up giving us how much, somebody there? The thing is 368, 368, okay. 368 here times 35, which will give us, I think the answer which was given here is the final answer. 368 times 35. Remember, it's a helicopter style. Helicopter style, you don't have to get everything, but they don't go to this exam wanting to get all the marks. No, no, no. That will be tragic. So it is 12, 880. It's a helicopter. So please come and add here. Give us the total cost. Give us the total inventory cost. Add there. Total inventory cost is how much? 13,580. 13,580. 13,580. And therefore the average will be 13,580 divided by 10. 13,580 divided by 10. So 13,580 divided by 10, which at the end of the day will give us what answers? 1358. Thank you very much. 1358. There you are. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, from there, I would want to take you through some theory. So is this clear? Is this clear? Is it clear? It doesn't have to be clear 100%. I mean, this is the last day. Last day is all about survival. It's not about survival. Survival. So long as you're able to get like the random number ranges, you're able to do a few postings here and there. Trust you me, these pass marks are quite low. These pass marks are quite low. We shall end up doing what here? Overcoming. Okay. Great. So the other theory area that I would want, I don't have that question of May 2021. Please send it to me. Send it to me. Send it to me. So in this case, ladies and gentlemen, go straight away to the pricing, not pricing, but give me, number one, advantages of transfer pricing. Advantages of transfer pricing. And then you give me the methods of transfer pricing. Remember, your theories will always carry about 30%. So advantages of transfer pricing and the methods of transfer pricing. Methods of transfer pricing. Methods of transfer pricing. Ah. So, yes. So I can see what Patricia has there. We have the methods of coming up with a transfer price. We have the negotiated, where we sit down as two departments, and then we agree. Why can't we just, in this case here, charge this price? Negotiated, of course, has one disadvantage. It eats into a lot of management time. For you to agree, it's not going to be a simple thing. If two departments are left, in this case, here to agree on an optimal, appropriate transfer price, trust you me, they will never reach a consensus if there is no intervention from the head office. So negotiated, I like this. Number two, the second one that I can see this lady has been able to raise here is the market-based. So under market-based, ladies and gentlemen, remember market-based, what do we have? We look at this intermediate good that is to be produced and sold internally. Does it have a market there? In that market, how much does it go for? If in that market it goes for 10 shillings, then we charge exactly 10 bob. We charge our sister department 10 bob. So market-based, I like that. Then we have got, you guys haven't given me all of them. Yes, we have got marginal cost, transfer price, marginal cost, transfer price. So under marginal cost, transfer price, basically we are looking at the incremental cost, the variable cost. What is the variable cost per unit? That is what we charge what year? Our sister department. We can decide to do what we call marginal cost plus. So marginal cost plus a certain percentage, right? Then we have in this case here what we call full cost. So under full cost method, we simply look at the variable cost plus the fixed cost. And then of course we pass the product to our sister department at that cost. Or we can come and do what we call full cost plus a profit. Now, ladies and gentlemen, marginal cost, even if it's plus or marginal cost alone has got one disadvantage. The department that is giving out this particular good will only be able to recover their variable cost. So they'll always be making what your losses. So that cannot really incentivize them to be making what your internal transfers. Full cost has got also another big disadvantage. You know, full cost means that you must apportion. You must apportion what you must apportion fixed overheads. And if it is apportionment of fixed overheads, there is no clear way. There is no clear way of apportioning fixed overheads. At the end of the day, there will always be discrepancies, etc. How about the advantages of transfer pricing? I haven't seen you guys knocking these advantages very nicely of transfer pricing. Advantages of transfer pricing. So advantages of transfer pricing, advantages of transfer pricing, advantages of transfer pricing, advantages of transfer pricing. Advantage of transfer pricing. So we have what B is telling us is the concept of tax tax minimization, especially for a multinational company, you'll be able to minimize cost. Yes, that's number one. Number two, we have the concept of what here? Performance appraisal. Performance appraisal. And the performance appraisal, remember, transfer pricing is able to convert every department, including the landlocked departments that don't have exposure to external customers. We are able to transform all these departments to profit centers. And if you recall, profit is always revenue minus who? Cost. So each department now will be able to get its revenue. We shall be able to appraise all the departments using what your profitability. So performance appraisal, I like that. Then we have what we call divisional autonomy, where we are telling these companies that if you feel that this sister department is not giving you value for your product and you have a market for it, please go and sell out there. And then the other sister department, we are telling them you don't have to procure from your sister department. If you feel there is a deal that you can get out there, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and embrace that. Go ahead and embrace that. Buy from out there. So divisional autonomy. These guys are able to make decisions independently. Divisional autonomy. Then, of course, we have what we call goal congruence. We have what we call goal congruence is goal agreement. So, you know, we have been able to convert these things here to profit centers. So under each division knows that they shall be appraised using what? Profit as the metric. Profit as the metric, right? Profit as a metric. So then what they'll do is to ensure that they maximize their profitability. And what is the goal of the overall goal of the farm? The farm's overall goal is to maximize their profitability. So we have the goals of the departments agreeing with the goals of who? Agreeing with the goals of the company. So goal congruence, division autonomy, Quality assurance, I like quality assurance, although those ones will be coming in as secondary. Quality assurance, because we know that we are making these products ourselves, so the quality is assured. You're also, in this case, you're of course promoting your internal what here? Production capacity. Production capacity. Production capacity. Production capacity. Very good. Very good. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, the other things in your theory that you will always get, and these one, once we have repeated severally, we've repeated this severally, we repeated this severally. These are those budgetary theories. The budgetary theories, I don't know whether there is anybody who has a problem there. The budgetary theories, all of us must really be very comfortable with them. Very comfortable. And then, of course, we have these other areas of balance scorecard. Balance scorecard. I don't have to put in a lot of my energies into them. This balance scorecard. We have balance scorecard. We have the Fitzgerald and the Moon building blocks. Hizi si mko sawa? Not sawa kabisa, lakini si at least unaweza kaandika kitu. Ukweli ama uongo, ukweli ama uongo. Ukweli ama uongo. I'm so sure there are those of us who are this video mahali. This video mahali which you can send. These videos zilikuwa nimewatumia sometimes back, especially most of the ladies who are here. I know you ladies are quite privileged. You are quite organized than us. I'm so sure there must be somebody who has these videos who can send them to us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have this concept of ethics for management accountants. Ethics for management accountants has been tested severally. Like we have November 20, or rather May 2019. May 2019. Question number 4A. Question number 4A, May 2019. Question number 4A, May 2019. Question number 4A, May 2019. Question number 4A. Highlight 4 ethical standards of management accountants. Ukisikia ethical standards, ni zile mnasomanga kwa auditing. Ni gani gani somebody ethical standards? Ethical standards ni gani gani? Ethical standards haraka haraka tukimaliza. Ethical standards haraka haraka. Yeah, I've now seen them. Number 1, we have integrity. Number 2, we have, in this case here, confidentiality. Number 3, we have professional behavior. Number 4, we have professional competence, and the due care, And then number 5, we have the concept of what here? Independence. So remember, as management accountants, we're supposed to be people who are straightforward, people who are open, right? Confidentiality. If, for example, you are a management accountant in a particular company like EABL, and you come across, in this case, ladies and gentlemen, a few issues inside there, you are not supposed to disclose those issues, because you're supposed, in this case here, to always withhold the information that we get within ourselves, right? Not unless we have got management approval to disclose these to third parties. However, if it is something that is of public interest, I come to your company and then I realize that you guys are producing cocaine, you are doing this and this. If it's something that may harm the public, As accountants, as management accountants, of course, we have that public interest, put public interest first. But even if it's public interest first, you don't report just anyhow you call KTN. You'll get yourself into problems like this guy of Masai Mara Haste. He did the right thing, but using what are wrong channels. There is a whistleblowing channel that you're supposed to know, right? Right, very, very important. Professional behavior, of course, as accountants, of course, here we are expected to behave in a way that gives our organization credibility. Hapana enda kunywa pombe unastagastaga na umeweka baji ya CPA ISPAC, right? Hapana enda kufanya mambo fani namna hii. Watu wako hapa wanasema kama ndio accountant, then these young people will say if this is the account, if this is how accountants look like, hata sitaka kuwa accountant. We have to endeavor and to ensure that we make our organization and institute look credible. Professional competence, of course, this is associated with what here? Continuous professional development. Continuous professional development. We must continue developing ourselves even beyond here, even beyond these exams, CPD. And of course, once we become competent, then we shall be caring of what here of our clients that we serve. Because if, ladies and gentlemen, you don't know what you're doing out there, then you don't have that due care. Remember, as I keep on telling you, as accountants, we hold those positions which are fiduciary, positions of what you trust. When you tell somebody that this is the income statement, go and pay a tax of 30 million, that person does not have to doubt you because he believes that you are what you're competent and you're able to take care of them nicely like that. Independence, please don't forget this. Independence is all about objectivity. It's all about having your pendulum swinging either way. You know, most of the times, ladies and gentlemen, many management accountants are never independent. They go to the board. When they go to the board, they've been analyzing situations. Perhaps they want to advise EABL. EABL has reached that point where they want to make a decision. They want to make a decision regarding their bottles. These bottles, they would want to decide between continuing making them, so produce internally, or in this case here, do what here, somebody, or outsource. So, of course, the management accountant will come and do his analysis. That is one of the functions of a management accountant. He'll come and do his analysis. So in his analysis, he'll come and say if it's materials, for example, 10 bob, if it's labor, for example, 20 bob, if it is overhead, for example, 30 bob. So this will give us what somebody there, this will give us 60. And then, of course, if they approach a company whose core business is to make bottles like Central Glass Industries, these guys here could even charge them a bottle at 40. A bottle at 40. Now, assuming they even quote more, 80, for example. Now, you get this management accountant, at times his objectivity being impaired. He's done his analysis like that. But at times his independence would be maybe impaired. Why? One of the directors perhaps has a deal with people from this company. These directors will come and tell this management accountant, hey, you know what? You must support this. Go and inflate this. Make this to be what it to be now. So we need to be very objective, to be independent in our decision making, in how we advise, how we issue out our advisory. That is very, very important. So please, whenever they ask about this, always remember here. And then at times they will come and ask you of what importance it is to be ethical. Why should we be ethical? Why should we be ethical as an organization? Like the question, November 2019, question 1A. November 2019, question number 1A. Examine three benefits that might accrue to a business organization as a result of good ethical behavior by management accountants. So good ethical behavior by management accountants. How does a firm stand to benefit out of this? Benefits that will accrue to an organization whose accountants are ethical. whose accountants are ethical. I'm waiting to hear from you great guys whose accountants are ethical. Maybe give you one of them, and then we shall be able to. Yes, I like what Grace is telling me, cost saving associated with compliance. Remember, when you have accountants, like I'm so sure most of you here are not ethical, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, and you're going to cost your organizations quite a lot of money. Why? Because you're the ones who are telling these employers that let us have two pay slips, one over the table, which goes through KRA, whatever, the other one under. These things, I mean, what kind of an accountant are you? Can that happen in iTax? This guy will be brought into books in less than 5 years. And most of these taxes that you keep on hiding for a long time, they'll wipe you out of business. So in this case here, because of compliance, ladies and gentlemen, I agree, then we shall be able to do what here to minimize our costs. Number two, Jacqueline has told me the concept of good reputation. Yes, good reputation. Good reputation, which will automatically boost what your public confidence, right? Increased productivity because of what here, increased productivity because of what here. You know, when accountants out here know that you as managers have given them enough room to make decisions which are ethical. You're not, in this case, ladies and gentlemen, pushing anything down their throats. Then they'll be motivated. They'll be motivated. I'm telling you, there are people I sympathize with, especially some accountants who are ladies. You know, ladies, in most cases, ladies do not want to do some funny things. Now here you are forcing them. This person anaamka asubuhi, hata akisikia kazi sisi kuenda. Hata wanaume wengine wako hivyo, lakini wanaume wengi sisi tuko na problem. Sisi tukiambiwa namna hii haraka, lakini si wote, it's like stereotype, lakini generally kwamba when you give these people flexibility, ladies and gentlemen, then they'll be able to work even more. I like what I'm seeing here, reduction in legal litigations. Yes. I think we have exhausted. You know, it comes with all those things. Once there is reputation, increased what your revenues. You know, ethics means what? Even on issues of environmental, you are good to the environment, you're disclosing everything, etc. So there are so many things you can talk about. It's marketing the company. You'll be able to tap onto the very best employees, because once employees out here hear that this is an ethical organization, many people would want to come and work for you, right? You'll be able to retain most of these workers here for a long time. I mean, they can explain the whole world, can write answers even which would run to half a page. But of course, as I write these things, ladies and gentlemen, reduction in risks, I like that. As I read these things as well, I must always remember what here, the concept of, I must always remember the concept of the number of marks given. Don't go writing a whole page when you are only given 2 marks, thinking that the examiner can give you 3 out of 2. No, that can never happen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there are students who are telling me to speak something small about Fitzgerald and Moore. It has been asked severally. Do you remember this concept of 3 blocks? Just to speak about this, the Fitzgerald and Moore, the 3 blocks. So these 3 blocks are which ones? Who is able to remember these 3 blocks very fast? The 3 blocks very fast. The 3 blocks very fast. The 3 blocks very fast. The 3 blocks. So of course I know the topmost is the dimension one. Dimension one. And then this can't be rewards. Rewards comes there. So the first one is which one here? Somebody? Standards. Remember the concept here is that once you are able to give your employees fair targets, right? Fair targets. And then they meet, and once they meet their targets, you are able to do what? You are able to reward them. Then automatically, all the metrics called dimensions here will be met. Improved profitability, right? People will be innovative. Resources will be utilized very well, etc. So these are things, ladies and gentlemen, that you can very easily be able to get in the notes. Somebody can even share the notes. There and then. So, ladies and gentlemen, kilicho na mwanzo kina nini? kina mwisho. So mimi nachukua nafasi hii kwanza kabisa kuwashukuru. You guys have been of great support to us, and I also wish you the very best in these exams. Remember, kupita KASNEB, ladies and gentlemen, is not a very hard thing. It is all about your confidence. Hii kitu ya kwenda kwa exam unipata na sweat, hiyo si kitu mzuri. Kitu mzuri ni uende pale ukijua kwamba this is just a normal paper. Keep on smiling in the exam room, right? It's a normal paper. Don't sweat it out, right? Ukifanya part A ukiona umelemewa kidogo, unaandika part B, unaandika part B. Ukiandika part B, ladies and gentlemen, unairuka, unaenda part C. Part C unafanya unaweza unaacha spaces, right? Remember to tackle all the questions and always start with the easiest. And of course, the easiest question ni gani? Somebody in your variances, isn't it? Your variances. The easiest question normally inakuwa ya variances. Unaangalia unaweza. Ile ambayo hizo kuchanganya sana ni ya variances. Lakini hata ikiwa namna gani, ensure that you answer each question. Hata the theory question, ensure that you answer them. Hata kama uelewi scribble, andika English nevertheless, however, moreover, like that. And then of course, most of the time, just keep the wheel in the exam rolling. The wheel must be rolling. Usiende unaanza kuangalia ceiling. No, that is not your portion. Hapana. Ukienda ukiona kitu kama price, umeona variable cost, hata kama hujasikia swali linauliza nini, wewe tafuta contribution margin. Right? Tafuta contribution margin, which will be price minus variable cost. Ukiona profits, unaona probabilities, what do you do? Hata kama hujaelewa, multiply. Kama hujaelewa swali nasema nini, multiply. So please, confidence is key. And then lastly, as I've seen somebody saying we pray, it's very important. I've seen somebody saying we pray, it's very important, very, very important. Yes, of course, ladies and gentlemen, where we are not able, of course, to push you through, automatically God will be able to open doors for you. Hiki watu wajuangi. Mungu ni maajabu. Wewe omba. Omba atakani Muislamu, atakani Mkristo, ombea mtihani, Mungu akuondolee vizuizi mbaya. So otherwise, asanteni sana, taongea mengi, especially after your exams. Like this weekend, remember we said we must come up with something like QuickBooks, Excel for the weekend, just one weekend. I take you through because I would want to give birth to great professionals. So it has been a pleasure. I would want to ask one of you to pray for us. Is there anybody who can volunteer for us? Just 1 minute. Prayer, very important prayer, so that I can have this video shared with Generous. Yes. Great. Let me allow you to unmute yourself. Prayers work magic. I've seen them working for me in my exams in the past. Yes, Jane.
Okay, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ivy, for your sacrifice. So let us pray. Father, in Jesus' name, we come before thy presence this morning, King of all glory. We thank you to learn, oh God. We thank you for our teacher, Dr. Aura, oh God. My Father, may you continue blessing him. My Father, may you continue increasing him, King of all glory. For us, oh God, as we enter our exams, we pray that, my Father, we may get fruit for our efforts, oh, remember each and everything that we've been able to learn, oh God, and be able to apply it the right way in the exams. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. So thank you very much. Bye-bye. All the best. Courage. Thanks. Bye.